What's up guys, my name is Marc Steiner, and today we are going to be talking about the Airpods Max. Let's get right into it. Let's start with the physical build of these headphones. These headphones are made completely of metal and just scream quality. The ear cups are made of aluminum and the headband is also metal wrapped in this nice silicone coating. The top of the headband is made of this nice mesh material which is very comfortable on the head and very comfortable around the neck, but I do worry about its durability long term. The telescoping adjustment on these headphones is very nice and you can dial in that perfect fit for your head. I was a little bit worried that they'd be sliding back and forth while in use, but it does actually take quite a bit of force to adjust this and it stays put while it's on your head, so I really like that. The ear cups are nice and deep and made of this nice cloth material with memory foam on the inside. They're decently comfortable, but not the most comfortable thing I've ever had on my head. One of the standout features of these ear cups is that they are in fact replaceable and are actually very easy to take off and replace if you so wish. You can mix and match other ear cups from Apple if you want to have some nice color going on, or when these get old, you can just replace them, which is really nice. That service, however, costs $70, so it is very expensive. But if you look at my ATH M50Xs, the ear pads are worn beyond compare, and this is something where a lot of people would just throw the entire headphone away when all they need to do is actually replace the ear pads. So this, although expensive, does just add to the longevity of these headphones, and I'm glad that Apple offers this service. There's also a proximity sensor inside each ear cup, so these headphones know exactly whether or not they're on your head. Moving on to the outside, there are two physical buttons on this pair of headphones. You have the digital crown, which is going to be used for your volume up-down controls, as well as your play pause, previous next, and accepting calls. The volume control using the digital crown is the smoothest I've experienced. You can dial in your exact volume instead of the usual increments. The other button is to control the noise cancelling setting on these headphones. In the settings of your phone, you can dictate whether or not this button turns on transparency mode or turns off noise cancelling. I personally have it on transparency mode because that is the standout feature, in my opinion, of these headphones. The transparency mode is so good and is implemented so well on these headphones that I actually use it out in the real world and just defeats everything else on the market in this one regard. You just hit the button and you can just suddenly hear everything that's going on in the outside world, and it doesn't feel fake or artificial. It just feels like you don't have the headphones on, so it's very usable, and I love using this feature out in the real world because I find it very useful. Because the headphones are made of metal, the weight is noticeable and not the most comfortable thing to wear for long periods of time. Let's talk about the noise cancelling on these headphones. I would say that these headphones have very good noise cancelling. I'd say they're about on par with the rest of the industry. They're not better, they're not significantly worse, they're about on par. One thing I did find though is that the noise cancelling is a bit off. In certain situations it's absolutely amazing, and in certain situations it's really not that good. And I really noticed this when I was on a ferry and I was just moving my head ever so slightly forward and backwards and left and right. And the reason why the noise cancelling doesn't always do the best job is that you can clearly identify when the multiple mics on these headphones are inputting the sound and they're trying to figure out what sound they need to block out, what frequencies they need to block out in order to actually cancel out that noise. And it doesn't always do the best job. So if you move forward and there's a loud noise right in front of you, 6 inches away, the headphones are blocking it out. But if you move forward, that might be the difference between whether or not the headphones block it out or the headphones let it in. So it's really interesting to see how these headphones try and interpret noise cancelling. And overall, I think they do a pretty good job, but it is very annoying that it's inconsistent like that, and just slight movements of the head will completely change how it noise cancels your environment. Now let's talk about one of the most important things when you're talking about headphones, how they sound. I'd say that these headphones sound really good. I'd say that they have a nice wide soundstage given that they're closed back noise cancelling headphones, and the instrument separation is very good, and the vocals, I absolutely love the vocals on these headphones. It just sounds so clear and crisp. It just sounds so immersive and it sounds great. I will say that the bass is not as strong as I'd like it to be. On other headphones that I've used, I just love that pumping bass, and these headphones just don't have it. Don't get me wrong, they have good bass. It's just not overpowering and pumping. Some people don't like that, but I like my pump and bass. On the note of pumping though, these headphones actually don't get that loud. I usually listen to my music between 50 and 60% volume, and with these headphones I found myself regularly listening between 70 and 90% volume. And no, I'm not going deaf, I'm not shooting my eardrums out. These just don't get as loud as comparable headphones on the market. So if you listen to your music really loudly, these might not be for you because they don't get as loud as other things on the market. That being said though, at those high volumes, there is no distortion, and when you do turn the volume up, it doesn't feel like it's just getting louder. It feels like you're getting closer to the music, to the performance, and I really like that. So it just plays into it. So you're kind of encouraged to listen to these at high volume because it doesn't feel like it's damaging your ears. You're just getting closer to the performance, which I really, really like. These headphones also have the spatial audio feature that we've got on the AirPods Pros, and they're pretty awesome. It's a little bit gimmicky at this point, but when you're watching compatible content on your iPhone or iPad, it feels very immersive. It's like a surround sound system on your head. So if you like that kind of immersion in your movies and TV shows that are compatible, like The Mandalorian on Disney+, you're going to really like that kind of stuff with these headphones because they sound amazing and could easily replace a home theater setup. Currently, that feature is only available on iPhone and iPad and is not available on desktops, laptops, or Apple TV, where I think most people would like to take advantage of that kind of feature. All right, let's talk about battery life and the case. When Apple released these headphones, they said that they needed to go back in the case to save battery life, and they would not go into low power mode until 2 hours of inactivity, in which case it would just be sipping battery life and draining your battery real quick. That is actually not the case. They go into low power mode 5 minutes after they detect no activity. I purposely did not put these headphones back in the case to see if it would have an adverse effect on battery life, and after moderate use for 4 days, they finally died. So 4 days is a respectable battery life for moderate use. I'm sure if I used them more and went out of the house more, it'd be closer to 3 days. But the fact that you have to charge these twice a week isn't horrible, even though other things on the market do last longer. Speaking of the case, this case is absolutely stupid. It doesn't protect anything on these headphones, it just puts it into low power mode, and as we saw, the headphones don't actually really need the case to go into super low power mode, it just helps speed up the process. So this case is just dumb on so many levels for me because it doesn't do anything that the headphones don't really already do, and it just takes up more space. And because these headphones don't fold in any way, I actually didn't like putting them in my bag, so I found myself carrying them like a purse because that was the best way to carry them. And I've seen my friends on Twitter who did get a hold of these headphones as well. They're doing the same thing because they don't feel comfortable putting it in their backpack. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see people carrying these around like purses in the near future as a fashion statement. I still would like to see Apple give us the option to turn these headphones off completely in a future firmware update. We'll see if that actually happens, but I think that feature would be really nice to have. So what's my overall experience with these headphones after using them for quite a while? The experience is very nice. If you're in the Apple ecosystem, it works flawlessly, it connects to all your devices, it works really well, and it's just nice to have in that ecosystem. The sound quality is really good, the noise canceling is really good, and everything is just like a cohesive, nice package. That being said, it's not worth $550. There's no standout feature on these headphones that really separates it from the competition, in my opinion. These headphones, they sound good, they have good noise canceling, and they're right up there with the competition in terms of all of the aspects. I think the real separator for most people is going to be the Apple ecosystem because they work so well. You can just switch to any device, you can pair, and it just works with all your devices seamlessly, and that ease of use is very important for some people, especially when you have multiple devices. I found that in my personal use, it didn't always switch automatically the way I wanted to, and that's mostly because my MacBook is not running Big Sur right now. I'm sure when I do update, it will automatically switch, but at the moment, I have to manually go into my Bluetooth settings and switch it to the AirPods Max, which is not the biggest hassle in the world, but it's not the most convenient thing ever. Overall, these headphones are just not worth the price in any way. They don't sound way better than the competition. They don't have a way better noise canceling. It just really comes down to the Apple ecosystem and whether or not you're willing to pay that $550 premium for these headphones to be in that Apple ecosystem. And for some people, you can totally justify that if it makes your life easier. But for most people, and for me, these in no way justify the price. But if you look at what Apple's been doing with previous AirPods iterations, they came out at a premium price point as well. The original AirPods, I think, were either $150 or $170. The AirPods Pros were $250. And although, in my opinion, those were super premium price tags for in-ear earbuds, they just became the norm. And they also became the highest selling Bluetooth earbud on the market. And you see that everywhere, on the streets, at airports, everyone has AirPods, and we've just normalized this super high price point. So I wouldn't be surprised if people normalize this super high price point for these set of headphones as well. And I also wouldn't be surprised if we started seeing them even more often, especially with celebrities as a fashion statement. and just on everyday streets because people do prefer that over-ear experience. But as always, I would love to know what you guys think. Do you think these are worth the price? Do you think they're a flex? Do you think they're in no way worth it? Let me know in the comment section down below. My name is Marc Steiner, and I'll see you next time.